afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tanya Peale Yoga today. It is a beautifully sunny Friday, and we are back in studio today. We're going to take a flow that brings in a bit of stretch and then also brings in a bit of strength too. So this will be my practice for today. I have 2 classes to teach later on today, so this will be the one that I would do for myself. Today, still early in the morning. I like to actually practice a little bit earlier. This is about lunchtime. So while my energy is good, it's always earlier in the day, right? But I still feel pretty good. So let's get started. So we're gonna start in seated meditation and just start to come into the body. So we take a little bit of time today just to observe. So we start at the crown of the head down to the toes. We're checking in for practice today. So how do you feel today? Just from a place of observation, we just notice. And then we check in with quality of the mind. By quality, we are checking in with how calm we feel right now in this moment. And then we find our breath. So in yoga, we manage our breath. So let's start to manage our breath now. By managing, I mean slow down. We breathe longer. The breath moves up and down from the belly up through the diaphragm into the lungs. Nice expansion out. And then we slowly release the breath back down and out the belly. So we have an up and down with our breath for about 4 to 5 counts. At the top of the inhale, when you are full of breath, you hold the breath. Only as long as you can stay calm. So 1, 2, 3 seconds or so, and then we let the breath go. When you're completely empty at the bottom, suspend your breath. The most challenging one is when you are empty. Still remain calm, 1 to 2 breaths. And then we slowly draw the breath back up again. So if you're taking breath with sound, it's in and out the nose. When the air hits the back of the throat, the vocal cords, there comes the sound. So we'll take a couple of breaths. Move at your own pace here. And coming to a place of just natural breath to see how the mind felt after 2 managed breaths today. And how did that expand out through the body? Start practice all the way flat on the earth. So nice and long in Shavasana. You can start to work through your feet, just taking circular motions. Circling inward. You can start to circle out. Just reminding our feet that we have ankles, and we can take these movements with our ankles and feet, and then we'll point the foot and flex the foot like a dancer. That's called plantar flexion is pointed and dorsiflexion is flexed. From one world to another. And then we'll do the same with the hands, circle around, and go out. Find all the fingers. And we'll take our fingers and expand or interlace and expand the palms out or up. Keeping the shoulder blades squeezed together and pressing down into the earth, and find the rib cage together and the belly button in. Plantar flexion and toes spread out like a cat. That's extremely active. And from here, we're going to lengthen the body by taking this up. Expand the ribs and just make the body longer. So from the hips, I'm shifting the hip down towards the top of the mat, alternating side to side. So I'm lengthening my side bodies with my lower body. See if that's possible for you. A moment of stillness, pull the belly button in, and then we'll draw the knees into the belly. Give yourself a squeeze. Checking in with the lower spine, hip flexors, lower rocking side to side, nice and easy. As you can tell, my eyes are closed for most of this. I'm just noticing sensations or feelings. And that's physical feelings within the body as to emotional feelings. I'm just observing, trying to keep my practice just in the middle, that place of balance, so I can observe what's there, how it is, without any emotional add-ons, so that my body can rest and do things for me from like a, I don't know how to explain that, like a place of zero. So there's nothing else filtering in except for the body and how it physically feels and represents itself today. I think that's the closest I can get to explain what's going on in my mind. And I'm opening up my knees a little bit here, still rocking a little bit side to side. Lucky me, my hips feel pretty open already today, which is good. Doesn't always work that way. I'm going to keep going with the feet up above the knees. And I'll slow down my side to sides. So I notice when I rock all the way over to the side, there's an interesting sensation here. Can't tell if it's glute, spine, or lower back muscle related. Kind of feels like it's hip. I'm trying to see if there's some ease that'll come from it if I keep moving a little bit side to side. It seems like there is, so that's a good sign. All right, let's extend the leg to the side. So one leg straight, one leg bent, but both legs I'm drawing down towards the earth. And we'll shift this to the other side. One bent, one straight. Let's go again to the other side. One bent, one straight. So basically what I've been doing is I'm trying to set myself up for success. in the practice. So I'm going through all the little places in my hips, move to the other side, left leg extend, right leg bend. And that's kind of how I teach as well, as I set my clients up for success, or my yogis up for success, so that when we do take those more challenging poses or deeper stretches, they already have space within them so they can go a step further, whatever their body can do from that moment. So we'll have both legs to the side, toes to the floor. And we'll start bringing in some twisting. Left leg over to the right, just stacking 2 straight legs. And I'm going to see what it feels like to stagger the legs. So I'll have the left leg higher than the right, in just the space of a foot space. So like the toes on my right foot are touching the heel on my left one. And then I'm going to take the left leg and move it the other direction on the lower end, which will change my hips to a little bit more open. When the foot was up above, or leg up above, it was a little bit more closed in the hips. Come back to center, inhale center, release the right leg down and send just the left knee to the side. So now this is a deeper twist, helping the right knee touch the floor with the right hand. So I'm going to help the left shoulder get to the floor by turning my head to the left and lengthening out the left side of my body with just my body, right? So you have little wiggle room, that's what I call it, that you can do in your own body to move a hip down, expand the ribs, or reach the arm a little bit. Just finding more space in your body just by moving it around and lengthening it out a little bit. Now let's come back to the middle, nice wide legs. So inhale, knees in, and then open wide, toes to the floor. And then we'll shift to left side twist. First, nice stack of the legs. And then we'll start with our top foot higher. So here I can tell, it definitely does not feel the same from one side to the other. Our pelvis is an interesting thing. So it's good to keep moving every day so that it don't get stuck. It's like it's a daily practice for a reason, to help our longer patterns of sitting and sleeping and working and whatnot to not be so rigid in the body. Take the top leg and move it down. Still going toes to heel. And my head is, of course, turned right. And if you notice when you move through your practice that something does feel different, kind of take the mind to the day before, or maybe what's been going on recently that you've been doing, daily patterns, and see if there's something that you can change. Let's bring the knees back to center. Inhale, center. We'll let the left leg go down and just the right knee go across the body. So yes, a deeper twist, moving the knee to the earth, reaching the arm away. Because if you move with awareness, there's a lot of times, actually we'll just go ahead and change a lot to most of the time, you'll be able to figure out what is causing your body to move into imbalance. If you're living a little bit more mindfully, or just move back to the previous day to see what did you do. I was working on taxes yesterday, so I was sitting a lot. So perhaps that was it. One more breath. Let's come back to the center. Inhale, center. With knees into the belly. And we'll open this up again, right and left. Close to the floor. All right, we inhale, close the door up in the sky. We'll let the right leg bend with the knee touching the floor, and we'll let the left leg bend and the foot touching the floor. So here my left hip is not touching the floor. I'm working on the right side. So if you want to see if the leg can actually stay touching the floor, and the left one too, let me check it out, but I know my own body is just not there. I would say not yet, but I'm not the youngest in the world. So I think at this point, I got what I got. That's okay. I'm pretty happy with it. All right, so let's see if we can balance out the hips. So let's work the left leg grounded. Left heel, left calf, left glute firmly touching the floor. As you can tell, right leg is not going down towards the earth and touching, but I do have a straight line from my right knee all the way to my left heel. So that tells me that my hips are pretty balanced. I can move into things like Hanumanasana, which is a front split, which I can. That's still in my practice, and things of that nature. Deeper hip spaces. So my hips are pretty open. So let's add an extension to the side. So we extend from the knee on the right, the leg to the right. See if the toes touch the floor. And if they do, you can turn the hand around, catch the heel, and draw it to the floor. And if you have overextended knees, you can try to soften the knee just a little bit, which makes everything stretch out a bit more because you're not using the joint past range of motion that you have to help you get more space here. You're actually asking the muscles to get the space and not the joint. That's better. Ligaments and tendons don't really need to be stretched out because they don't come back. They just stay stretched out. All right, right leg, figure four. Bringing the left leg up, there's the figure four. We'll turn this into figure four full. And going right into a double pigeon. So both legs, an external rotation, the legs go forward. Right shin on top of left, and then watch the back bending here. We're trying to relax and go flat in the hips. So I still have space in between my lower back and the floor. There should be a curve there, right? You think of the glutes as having muscle, right? Which is a firm thing. So it takes up space, basically, is what I'm saying. So if you have glutes or hips, you will not be able to go super flat here, which we're supposed to have glutes and hips. It helps us be strong in our walking and our standing practices. Our spine is supposed to have a curve in it. That's just how it goes. If you're going all the way flat, that means you have extreme flexibility, right? And we do have poses that do go like a full lotus, but with a back bend. So imagine my legs being crossed like lotus, but then I add a snake spine. So I'd be going through the floor here, which means the whole front here has to be even more stretched out in front of the pelvis and the thighs to get into that shape, which means that my lower back curve would probably be fairly flatter because I have more hip space to get down there. One more breath, we'll move on to left side stretch. And then my hips are probably ready to go into some standing movements and seated folds and whatnot, twists. All right, inhale, we unravel. Knees into the belly, exhale. Checking in with right hip, left hip. What do I notice? All right, so we'll start the same with the legs up in the sky. We'll let the left leg come down bent, right leg bend with the foot flat to the floor. So on the left side, I'm connecting the whole foot and thigh. And as you can tell, obviously here, my right hip is not touching the floor. So let's see if we can extend my leg more forward and keep the leg touching. And that's about it, is right there. And that doesn't mean that I do not have flexibility in my body. That means I just have the right amount according to my hips flexibility in my body. I'll show you here. We extend the leg down, find the balance. Right heel, calf, glute firmly touching. And then here I have a straight line from my left knee all the way to my right heel. And my left side tends to be a little bit more tighter. You choose your grammar. So I would take a little bit more stretch here to get as open as my right side, and that's probably my own fault. Actually, I'll go ahead and throw that in. It is my own fault because I've been teaching since 2008, and a lot of the modeling that I do is mostly right-sided. That's my own fault. I should not be doing it, but you don't know what you don't know, but I know now. So be mindful, teachers out there, is if you're going to model one side, try to be mindful and model the other side. If you're picking certain phrases to model, do both, not just one at a time. That's causing imbalance in your body. Let's extend the left leg to the left. See what we have here. And again, a soft knee on the left. Just so your muscles have to lengthen a little bit more. And I'm actively pressing my right side down to the earth too. One more breath, trying to feel the same on one side to the other. All right, figure four, stretch. We bring the right leg up, cross, make this a fold. Our double pigeon. Right shin bone underneath the left, and we let the legs go forward. And then we check in again with front of the pelvis, how it feels, the knees, if they're dropped down, if the top knee is ever up in this pose. It's telling you that your hip in external rotation is a weak point or just something to work on. We always have something to work on, so don't think one way or the other. The body picks up things along the way in life. Some patterns are good, some patterns are bad. Just remind yourself to keep moving. It's probably the best thing you can do for yourself. Keep your muscles, build your muscles. You'll probably have to step outside of yoga just to build your muscles more efficiently, which is weight training, which is what I also do. Unravel here, back to knees into the belly. So I inhale, unravel, knees into the belly, exhale. So here I feel really balanced between one side and the other. My hips feel light. My thighs are squishing into my torso without really any resistance. So I'll take one more place of resistance that I know that's there for everyone is bottoms of the feet together, knees open right and left. So here, again, you'll probably feel the hips trying to be pulled forward. Same as before. Tightness in the hips, hip flexors, you name it. Hip flexors extend and flex the hips, or you think of the torso, or the pelvis. So we're just trying to flatten out a little bit as much as we can. But remember, we have glutes. That's an important thing. It's not a bad thing. We need to have muscle in our glutes. And stay here, one more breath. Make it two. I feel things moving. legs come together. Take the feet down to the earth. And we'll push the hips up nice and high. Inhale, hips up. So here comes the strength of the glutes. This is where we definitely get strength into our glutes in yoga. So if you like, you can use a block. Blocks are supportive, as you can tell. Doesn't exactly help me because I don't even touch the floor with the block when my hips are as high as I can push them. But I'm going to go for more stretch of my thighs. So I'm going to place the hips on top. So not my back body or my spine, it's my glutes, all right? Center of my bum I'm putting there. First, let the legs be long and forward, right? You'll start to feel your lower back, so just be mindful in your own body. If things keep moving forward, you don't like how it feels, make this flatter, or don't move into this shape yet. Maybe you need some more practice. So I'm tucking my right foot under to get a big stretch. So obviously this would help with back bending. This is the shape of a back bend. Hips and shoulders are your two places that need the most space. Hopefully the spine stays supple for you for a long time. One more breath here. We release the right, we try the left, same thing. Make any adjustments that you need to. We tuck under the left leg. Got a nice little spinal adjustment there. And this side, I feel a lot of resistance. One more breath. And let go. So we'll try both legs, see how that feels to tuck both of them under. Okay, so I'm gonna let my knees fall forward. Just let them touch the floor. That's a whole lot of stretch. Trying to relax. Ooh. Enough. So unravel here, block out of the way, gently let the hips come down. That's a lot of back bend for the lower back. And bring the knees into the belly. Nice ball shape. Rock it out a little bit side to side. Catch behind the knees. Nice rock up, inhale. Legs to the floor, exhale. So nice and long with the legs. Everything feels where it should be. I'm gonna take the spine nice and tall up. Interlace the fingers up nice and tall. Let my head fall back. Let my ribs expand forward into a bit of a back bend shape. I'm doing my best. And then start to fold forward. Over the legs. Some version of a Paschimottanasana, which is just a seated fold. And if you still have your block nearby and you're fairly flexible, put the block to the bottom of your feet and pull back. You'll notice that your hips, you feel some alignment happening there at the hips. Now, as with most people, but definitely myself, I have one leg longer than the other, which does create imbalance in my body, but what am I gonna do? Can't get a longer leg. So anyway, I keep moving, which again was probably the best thing I've done my whole life. Just keep moving And here I am. And I'm pulling the block back into my feet. I'm using a bent arm and elbow squishing into my sides of my legs, my outer shin, to keep them straight. And then actively picking my spine up into a flat back. I don't know how that translates on video, but that is what I'm doing. So I'm very active right here. And I feel very hot. I do have a fan right there, but it's not on. Oh, one more breath. All right. Woo. Inhale, pick up, cross legs. Tuck under, plank pose, breath in plank. Exhale, send this up to downward facing dog. Going right. So at this point, I feel pretty open enough to take Pada Bandha and Hasta Bandha. So think of your hands as squares and your feet as rectangles, right? We'll say the palm of the hand and the bottom of the foot without the fingers and the toes. Try to lift up all 10 fingers, and then same thing with the toes. You pick them up. So when we do that, it picks up the arch, which aligns the foot, the ankle to the lower limb, or of course the upper limb. And then with the fingers, a little bit of the same. One more breath here. All right, inhale into the knees. Eyes forward, exhale, we walk to the top of the mat. Pick up flat back, inhale, fold over legs, exhale. And I am nice and long right now. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, up mountain, lean back. And fold all the way down. Inhale, flat back, exhale, right leg. Bend and step back and down to your knee. Front leg extend, inhale. Flex the foot up, fold on top. And exhale. Back leg, give it a turn. Left hand on the inside of the left foot. So this turns into a baby warrior 2. Hips are open. Inhale, pick up, reach away. Hand in line with the knee. Extend the left leg. Open up into side body. So it's a little slight twist, not much. And then see if you can send this back. Pushing the hips forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, back to your straight line. Then we take inhale back up to the baby warrior 2. Exhale, shift down on the inside and extend the other way. All kinds of spinal movements today. That's interesting. Inhale, we pick up. Exhale, hands down and turn. Right hand underneath the heart, press down and reach away. So the left foot extended, the knee and the toes are pointing forward, and I'm reaching my left arm behind my back. Bit of a twist. See if you can half bind the right inner thigh with the neck twist and the spine twist. Inhale, we unravel up to come down, exhale. Right hand gonna go down and through, inhale through. So catching the foot, or see how well you can twist here the other way, which is don't touch the foot, keep the spine straight forward, and try to reach the other way. And I am far from touching the floor, which is okay. Probably with some assistance I could get a little bit more, but this is good. Inhale, we come back. Exhale, pull the left knee in. So we take a sit in front of the feet. spine long forward with a twist. So turn the heart down. Keep going. Neck turns all the way to right ear and arms reach. Fingers towards front of room. Relax your neck, relax the upper back. Left arm, reach to the left of the shoulder, right hand to the earth. We open hips. And again, reaching away, or just half bind behind the back. And my hips are in a butterfly shape. And if my block were closer, oh, kind of close, I would support my head. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's better. Left leg, extend long. Right leg is going to come back over into a tree pose on the floor. So my belly's on the floor, my right leg is like a tree. It doesn't matter if it's touching the inside of the foot. We're not standing, are we? Plant the hands. Shoulders are squeezing, elbows together, hand is up. We keep the elbows tucked in. We pick up tall spine, inhale up. If you want to turn your tree into, or your snake in a tree, that's what this is, into pigeon in a tree, you bend the back leg, get more stretch. And we release left leg, press the floor away, and we'll send the right leg up to three-legged dog. So this is kind of a difficult transition somewhat. So inhale, reach up. Bend knee, stack hips, twist. Maybe a little left elbow down to the earth. Keep the weight moving back into left leg. If you feel your Achilles come in here, it's too low for you right now, just come up to the hand and work the twist. Lizard, right foot outside of right hand. Inhale, come back. Shift down. Front leg extend, inhale. And bend, exhale. Down to back knee. Point the toes up, reach back and catch, full foot to hip. Inhale, we let go. Exhale, hand down. So for me, I'm gonna move my right foot right into lunge on knee, interlace the fingers and expand out. So inhale, expand. So probably for you too, yeah? And then open the arms, see if the fingertips touch the floor. And then pick the chest up, inhale, back forward to the hands, exhale. So the heel, stay exactly where it is in front of your hip, but the toes, we're gonna point out. So we're on the outer edge of the right leg, and the leg wings off to the side, turns us into wing dragon. And I'm gonna go backward and come down. And then I'm gonna move my heel to the center line of my mat. So if you don't have a line down the center of your mat, well, you can visually maybe see an imaginary line. And then I'm trying to work my head to my foot, to the floor, close to the foot. Big, big, big stretch. And basically, I'm kind of listening to my body with this practice. And these are the places that my body seems to want to go. So this is where we're going. Whew. Inhale, we come up to the hands. I want to send this leg over into the pigeon. So we're just going over and over and over through the hip. Hands on the earth, or hands on the legs, or hands to the side of the legs, and pick up. So key here is hips. If your hips are super open and you have this big angle, that tells me that your hip is too tight, right, to come forward and square the hips. You should be square in the back, even in the front, facing down. Square, square, square. Before you even decide on taking a big angle like this. This is a lot of medial knee, right? If you don't have the hip space, medial knee will suffer. So just make sure that you're nice and flat. Everything is touching the floor. This is my good side, so here I am, pigeon. We'll take 2 breaths here. Pick up the chest, inhale, pick up. Back leg to the front. We let the right foot move into the inner thigh. Square the hips in the back. And take breath, head to knee pose. Exhale, go in. If you're binding, you would catch right wrist. One more breath. Inhale, we pick up. Exhale, move the hips to center a little bit more. Tuck in the right foot so that the heel's on the left side. We're going to send the left leg up in the sky. Nice and tall, drawing the leg to the chest. So both hips are touching the floor. This is a variation of crouch asana because my leg is an external rotation instead of internal rotation. Release the right leg forward. Inhale, take this back on the mat. Exhale. So remember, overextended people keep a soft knee. Woo. It's a lot more stretch for you as opposed to stretching your joint, which brings instability. Try to keep the soft knees, even though it might be feel better to go long-legged. Keep a soft knee, support your joints. Right leg, inhale up. So on the down energy, we come up, exhale. Into balance. Hold. We find it right there. 3, 2, 1. Right leg down, left on top. Take breath. Hold here. Feels good. Okay. We'll pick up our cross legs. Inhale up, variation of the boat. Almost lost it. Exhale, tuck under, shift out to plank. So we'll take the swivel in the back, heels go left. Inhale the right arm up, side plank, hold 3, 2, and 1. We take breath. Exhale to the plank. Other side, swivel right. Left arm up, hold 3, 2, 1. We breathe. Back to the plank. Breath here. For knees, chest and chin. Elbows up in the sky, shoulder blades squeeze. Inhale, push through. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog, right into Pada Bandha and Hasta Bandha again. Squares in the hands, rectangles in the feet. All 10 fingers and 10 toes come off the floor. Belly's in. Drishti belly button. Hold. Take an inhale into the knees. Eyes forward, we're back to the top of the mat. Pick up the chest, inhale, fold, exhale. Nice and long. Soften the knees, inhale, chair pose. Mountain up, lean back. And fold. Left leg, inhale, we bend the leg. Send it back, down to the knee, exhale, front leg extend, inhale. And bend, exhale. Back leg we turn, right hand on the inside. We come up, inhale up, reach back, extend the right side body, keeping the hips push forward. And then we try to turn our torso behind us into back bend. Inhale, go back. Lengthening out your body. And inhale, we come back into our line and exhale up. Into our warrior two. On the knee, hand down and extend the other side. Reach, reach, reach. Pick up, hands in front, and adjust the toes forward. So we take right hand, or left hand underneath the heart, and right arm reaches away. Big twist, maybe behind the back, catching the inner thigh. Inhale, we unravel out. Exhale down. So the left hand is going to go for the right foot. So take a breath. Exhale, we go down and we catch. Or again, maybe you just work the twist of things. So work your spine nice and straight. Reach away. Oh boy. Big twist. Inhale, we come back to center, close the knees. We take a sit in front of the feet. Long twist forward. Roll over the hip. Don't bunch up the spine. Heart goes down. Left ear goes down, arms down. Prone twist or face down twist are some of my favorite kind of twists because you use the floor to your advantage. So the floor helps you go deeper into your twisting here. And of course, there's only so far you can twist. But it's a nice one. All right. Right arm to the right of the shoulder. Get the head out of the way. Big shoulder stretch. Legs back into the butterfly. Support the head if you can with a block. Reach away or just let the hand fall behind the back. inhale back over onto the belly. Left leg turns into your tree. So the foot is touching the inner thigh and basically right at the knee, which is fine. We're not standing on the foot, you'll be fine, there's no pressure. We'll plant the hands and we'll pick up our snake in a tree. Inhale up. If you want pigeon in a tree, back leg bends. More things to feel here. Release our right toes to tuck under. Left leg up in the sky, so we press the floor away. Belly in. Reach. Left leg up in the sky. Inhale, bend knees, stack hips. Take the right elbow down to the earth. And again, if you notice the heel, ankle, some stretching happening there. Just come up to the hand. Probably a little too much for you. And same thing with softening the knee. For those who are overextended, just keep that a constant practice. Just a soft knee. Because I went from straight leg, no stretch, to soft knee. Voila. Stretch of the calf. Foot outside of hand. Inhale, come in. Sink down into your lizard. Front leg extend. Inhale, extend. Back leg straight. And exhale down, point the toes up in the sky. Reach back, give it a catch. So I still have a shoulder injury. This left shoulder that I've been working on. It's just an aging thing, unfortunately. If you're my age, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, there are things to come. But, you know, I did my best to stay away from movements that moved into any pain and still kept stretching and working through weight training to support my recovery, which it worked out phenomenally. Inhale, let go. But I got to a place where, yes, now I have this crunchy noise in my shoulder. I think that's just unavoidable, just part of aging, but the pain is gone and the function is a lot better, and that's where I am today. So now from our lizard, we move the foot in, like lunge on knee, interlace the fingers, pick up, inhale. Big back bend, open the arms, touch the floor. Oh yeah. Inhale up, exhale, hands down to the floor. So we start our first version of the dragon. So we flex the toes up. We leave the heel in line with the hip. Point the toes out. We're on the outer edges of the left foot. The leg wings, we come down on the inside. So anyway, I haven't really been doing too many crazy things on the shoulder, just within my capacity. So any of that, even back bending, I haven't done big back bends from the shoulder, any wheel poses. I'm staying away for a while until I feel no pain. Even catching the foot like I just did in the lizard, I felt sensation still that was uncomfortable. So that tells me I'm getting better, but not whatever my new 100% is going to be. So I need to be smart, not take things that might damage me more. Yoga should be sustainable, so going past range of motion is not really a good idea. So inhale, come up to the hand. So now we move our heel to the center line of your mat. And then slide back a little, and we're bringing our head to the foot, or head to the floor by the foot. And oh boy, that's a lot of stretch. I'm gonna be breathing a lot here. Big hip stretch. I feel more in this than I do in any pigeon. Because if you think about this, you're going through the floor, right, or below the knee and the thigh. This is a nice prep for a foot behind the head pose. 2 more breaths. Whew. Inhale, we come up into the pigeon. Oh. So again, take a breath. Remember your angles here. If this is a straight line across, the knees off to the side, touching the outer edge of your mat, this is a big opening for your hip. So make sure that your hips are facing down from the back and the front. Hip is not open in any way. 3rd toe down the center of the shin, patella, and thigh to the hip flexor. Then you check in with what the knee says about it, whether you need to adjust this angle, and then we pick up. But again, if your hips are not square and the hip is super open and you still don't feel any knee pain, that still is a sign you should not have this leg parallel to the top edge of your mat. There's a krama, or an order to everything. And that's a sign your body is telling you that you are not ready for that deep version of this pose. So we always need to adjust so that we keep our knees intact and our body intact. All of this yoga stuff has an order, and your body does tell you. And sometimes we don't listen, or we just don't know, right? There's that. Maybe you just don't know. But I'm telling you, that's a sign. Don't take the pose. But for me, you can see that I'm pretty flat. And this is actually my knee that causes me problems, this left one, but I feel no knee at all because I really opened up the hip before coming here. And this feels only hip stretch. There's a lot of it. And I put money on it that it's because I've always been a right side modeler in terms of teaching yoga. I've been doing that all my life. Well, I've been teaching since '08. You count the numbers, it's 22 now. And that's a lot of one-sided, more open than the other one. My own fault. But now I know. Inhale, we pick up. Shift over, back leg to the front. Oh, a lot of hip space. All right, head to knee pose. Foot into the inner thigh, square the hips in the back. Nice lift of the spine, fold here. You have to twist over to the leg from the lower back on the left to get to the leg. And this is also one of those that I've noticed complete different from right side to left side in terms of the leg, the space in my spine. Again, it's my fault, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I caught it early enough. I've been trying to take the opposites. If you're binding, catch the left wrist to try to balance myself out, or practicing a little bit more with you guys. Try to keep myself balanced and hopefully teach you a thing or two. All right, inhale, we pick up. So we scoot a little forward. We bring our left heel into the right hip area. We send the right leg up in the sky. So nice and tall. Gonna keep a soft knee here. This is an old injury leg that has a lot of patterns that I have to wiggle room in to get the balance. Release the left leg, take a breath, and take this back. because as you can tell, I can go super straight on the leg, but I'm just going through the range of motion that the extra that I have in my own hip joint, so I'm just gonna help this leg out a little bit. One more breath. All right, left leg, inhale up, keep up balance. Oh, balanced. Try that again. Balance. Breathe. Exhale. Left leg down, right one on top. Pick up the chest. Give it a fold. Feels good, my friends. Let's finish the phrase. Pick this up, inhale up. Exhale, cross under. Shift to plank. All right. So we have our heels going to the right. Left arm up, inhale, hold, side plank. Eyes up, 3, 2, and when we breathe, plank. Other side here, we let the heels go left. Right arm up, eyes up, hold. 3, 2, when we breathe, exhale, plank. Breath here, knees, chest, chin. We use the toes to push through. Inhale up. Forward facing. Exhale. Downward facing. One last Pada Bandha and Hasta Bandha. Squares with the hands. Rectangles with the feet. Fingers and toes off the floor. Bellies in. Drishti belly button. 2 breaths. Not shaky. Soften the knees, inhale, come through. And sit. So again, we have the legs nice and long, adjust the sitting bones. Interlace, expand up. Expand outward from the rib cage. Maybe the head falls back. Take a breath. Exhale, go in for fold. Any version of Paschimottanasana, and you can come back to the block. Pulling the block into the feet. Using the elbows to squeeze the legs together. Aligning my hips on both sides. Like 2 pieces of bread flattening down on each other. I keep lengthening out of the hips and the lower back. All right. Whew. I am super stressed out. Felt good. Okay. So from here, you could come back to the floor if you like and revisit a bridge or a wheel. I think I feel pretty happy as it is. Maybe off camera I'll lay down, but it's already been an hour. So I'm going to leave you to it. If you have anything that you'd like to finish with, please go right ahead. A bridge, a plow, a shoulder stand, any of those things. You take care of you. If there's nothing more that you would like, or that you need, take a nice shavasana, lay down on your mat. And take a moment to observe your body and how it feels now at the end of practice. So I'm just going to do that from a seated position. You're more than welcome to do it into a lying position. Just observing crown of the head down to the toes. How do you feel now after practice? What's new, what's gone, what still remains in the body? Okay, so I'll tell you how I feel, just to give you some perspective. So again, I intuitively taught the practice, right? And for my body, length felt good, no matter if it's wiggle room length. Twisting feels good, but the hips were the biggest place where my body took me to open up, right? So everything that we did, this is probably mostly a hip-based practice. Is kind of how I felt. Some deep twists were thrown in there. And my body feels extremely balanced right now. There's always more that you can do with every practice. You know how it goes. You can't do all the things in one practice. But that's why you continue to practice, you know, and hopefully you do new things or different things each time, so that you know, you challenge the body, you challenge the mind, but in a sustainable way. That's the big word, right? Everything should be sustainable that you do. You want your practice to be a healing practice, whether the healing is from patterns in your daily activities, which seems to be where we are in life now, what I've seen with who I teach and who comes to the mat, or even myself personally. Even being a person who has moved most of her life, I've noticed that still, as I am getting older, which I am, that these daily patterns creep in and start to set a little bit. We call that a samskara. So with the practice, I'm constantly, it seems like some of the same things want to be opened, right? And when I intuitively just listen to my body and practice. And at the end of that, I just feel fantastic. So that's kind of where I am right now. I feel very balanced and I feel fantastic. Like I said, there's always more that you can do, but it's one practice at a time, right? So hopefully this practice served you. Hips feel good, legs feel good, hamstrings feel good, spine feels good, neck, shoulders hanging in there. So enjoy the rest of your day. I thank you for practicing with me today. Hopefully I will see you again on the mat. Until next time, all my love. Namaste.